Hi, I'm Bruce from Bestdagstuff, and I want to help you make the best dagger hair equipment possible. Today I'm going to do that by showing you how to use our stabbing tip kit. Here's what it comes included with. You have a patch of Kevlar cloth, this nice big chunk of Ensolite foam, and a piece of Velara. Now, when I send these out, these are 4.5 inches wide, which is probably wider than your sword needs to be, so you're probably going to want to trim them down. I've trimmed these down to 3.5 inches to make one of my short sword kits. The next step is to glue this piece of Kevlar around the tip of the sword. This is going to help it in two ways. It's going to keep this fiberglass core from ever coming free and poking forward after repeated thrusts, and it's also going to help keep it from blowing out the side. This is a major way that most swords break, is your core actually comes through the flat of the blade after repeated use. This is really going to stop that from happening. It's going to lock it right in there. Next, I'm going to glue the blade flat onto the side like this. So now I've gotten my basic sandwich done. I can go ahead and apply the rest of my foams to make the tip. First, I'm going to start with a square of Eva foam. Now, if you're using blue foam to make your sword, you can use a piece of that instead, but I like to put one piece of this denser foam right on top of the core first. Then I'm going to stick on my piece of Ensolite like this, and then my Velara is going to wrap right over it. Now, in order to make an even wrap so you don't end up staggered and off center, I do like to measure the Velara. It's 11 inches wide. Find my center point at 5.5 and just mark that before I start applying glue. I'm going to go into a well-ventilated area, get these all glued up and ready to put together.
Go ahead.
Okay, I like to start by putting my two pieces of foam together because it's easier to maneuver them than when they're stuck on the end of the sword. Start with one edge, like so. Go down to one of your long edges, make sure that lines up, and just sort of work your way around. If this isn't quite lining up, the Ensolite's really stretchy, so you can kind of push and pull it to try to make sure it just joins right with that edge. Give it a few squeezes and apply the next layer of glue. Now I've sprayed glue onto both of these sides. I like to make sure it gets nice and heavy on the Kevlar there. And I'm going to go ahead and join the one edge together first, just like we did before. If for some reason you ever find that the spray glues in particular start to slide, they don't bond as soon as they make contact, you need to wait a few more seconds before bringing them together. Now I'm using spray glue for all these connections, but you can use DAP, that's just fine as well. Just going around the edge and making sure it all stays right in place. And now just want to apply a little pressure, make sure there's good contact. All right. Now it's ready to apply the Velara. So now I've gone ahead and sprayed these. They're ready to join. Now remember that little mark you can see on the edge of the Velara? That's going to show me where the center is. It's going to make this step a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and look at that and make sure I line it up right with the middle of my Ensolite. Just like that. And slowly lower it down. And that's nice square on that top. Now, starting with one side, I don't want to use a lot of pressure here. I want to make sure that all of the foam comes in contact, but I don't want to squeeze it down too much. So I'll start with one edge again and just line it up as I roll it down. So now I've got that one edge joined. I'm going to go around to the other side. And first I'll sort of pull it back into shape before I slowly lower that edge down. Now I'll do the same on the other side, again making sure it's in contact, but I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Now, give it a good squeeze overall. Make sure it's gotten plenty of contact everywhere. And it's ready for tape.